Hello ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Over coming to you with the Company of Heroes 2v2. This one was sort of sent to me. You will see this individual down here, this very annoying player, Kpen 97, competent player. Sent me a message actually saying, hey, if you've missed me on the channel, I have a game right here for you, and told me all about this game. He says it's a good game. And I admit, when I first saw it on the ladder, I thought to myself, he's playing with Immature, aw man. But, you know, he assures me it's a good game, so see how it goes. We've seen some fear coming off over here from the yellow Brits. Definitely kind of worried against this particular twosome. We'll see how well they work together. Like I said, though, this is Kpen 97. He's playing the OKW. He is now listed himself as competent player. I wouldn't let that fool you, though. He is bringing to the fray Special Operations Doctrine, Fortifications Doctrine, and Elite Armor Doctrine. A lot of talk about my mama, or their mama somewhere, is out on this particular chat right now. I'm not going to focus on that, though. Dinnerbox apparently having a very good time. He's kind of jawing back and forth with Immature. This, of course, is Immature down here. He is playing the Wehrmacht. You can tell because he sets himself down and he squats and doesn't move. He is bringing along Mechanized Assault Doctrine, Lightning War Doctrine, and Spearhead Doctrine. I'd be very surprised to see this doctrine over here. No one ever seems to use it, except to get to the Tiger Tank. The map itself, by the way, is Lierneux, and their opponents on the map over here, der Freishuetz. Seems to me like, frankly, should be playing a German particular faction, but he's not. He is just kind of hanging over here on the UKF instead. He's already teched up to platoon command, done an ultra fast tech. He's got to the fray special weapons for the tank hunters. That could be kind of fun to see. Vanguard operations could be also fun to see, but less fun in my mind. I'm not a huge fan of that myself. And mobile assault regiment with that land mattress, which of course is just so dang talented. His ally down here, playing, of course, with the Heavy Cav Company, looking for that late-game Pershing, is Dinnerbox. And Dinnerbox looks like he's building meta right now in terms of the USF. By the time this video comes out, I do hope I've gotten at a short tutorial video on playing against the USF as the Wehrmacht, or actually give me some general tips overall. But in case that hasn't happened just yet, guys, keep an eye out for that one. Might be able to save your life someday. We are going to see in the middle part of the map, though, that it's becoming very German. With the fuel point already connected for the Deutsch speakers, and in the north, fuel for the Americans and Brits are already handled as well. A couple of mines going out in the field, but instead, really the main name of the game right now is just kind of some, you know, firing going back and forth. These guys are tickling each other, not a whole lot really going on. Of course, the longer that these Volksgrants stay out on the map, yes, the more veterancy they are going to get, but at the same time, you see them starting to get... Oh no, I was going to say they're getting outflanked, but I realized that purple's on the team of red. It is a red and purple over here, guys. We got the bruises and the red blood cells working together. On the other side, we got the cowards and the emotional types. So I was wrong. I thought this was just going to be a American point, but no, right now we have ourselves a German sandwich, with Royal Engineers plopping down a destroy cover. Kind of a curious decision there, but hey, why the heck not, right? Get rid of all this cover so that way they can get on this house whenever they get the opportunity to do so. This could be kind of interesting. And what had been a British position over here to the left, keeping these Germans hemmed in, is now getting hammered. Hammered, I tell you. By just some of the German troops moving forward hither and thither. Tickets right now are ready 481 to 487, and we're looking at the early moves strategically. We're going to see the OKW has decided to go for an SWS. My guess is a mechanized regiment headquarters coming in, but just a guess. Brits, for their own part, are pushing forward for an armor-piercing sniper. They have also gotten a Vickers out on the map. That is locking down a huge portion of these northern approaches. They've also decapped the way over here to the north. These strap points have been seized away from the Germans, at least for the time being. Now the question is, will this Vickers be able to turn around in time? No, it falls back in the face of all these grenadiers. Immature just pumping them out like crazy. But not really teching up at all, which is kind of a surprise. Kpen, in fact, has he gone for that mechanized regiment? Where is it? No, he's gone for battle group headquarters. Interesting. So we might see some indirect fire coming out of our, let's say, established veteran. Dinner Box, for his own part, decided to go for an early ambo. Hasn't teched up for a particular officer just yet, although I believe that's changing right now. Yes, it's going to be the company command post, which means we're going to see the Kpen, which means we'll probably also see a bazooka pretty quick. But for the time being, we're just going to see that there's going to be rounds dropping in every direction over here. I imagine these mortars are going to get themselves set up and all set to go. PDQ. But no, it seems they're focusing to the north. I guess they're worried right now about the Germans taking out their fuel point, and that's a very justified fear. What I have failed to mention, though, of course, that there's an M5 mine here, so the Germans, if they go anywhere near to the south, they're going to get hammered. And not on the cool, like, oh, guys, it's a frat party right now. No, no, no. It's going to be terrible for them. Immature, still just sticking with his grenadiers like crazy. And Kpen not really going for any sort of troops out of this. There we go. AA half-track's going to be coming out for him. That's going to get countered hardcore by this 50 cal armor-piercing sniper. Excuse me, 55 cal armor-piercing sniper. Announces his presence with a loud bark and blows apart one poor German over there. Fritz is lying on the ground, cold and steaming, as that huge round slams into him. It should also be worth noting that the AEC has come out for the Brits as well. Actually, as I'm casting this right now, Kpen sending me a message complaining when he's going to get cast again. So, Kpen, I hope you're watching this right now. And, dude, really? Really? You know it's going to get to your stuff eventually. 640 into this game, 460 to 467. The tickets are fairly even. Though it's not going to be lasting like that for long. The OKW packing in a fair amount of AV in their early game. AA half tried to take on these huge amounts of effective early Allied infantry. And the Kettenwerfer, supported by a Sturmpio with a Schreck to fight against this AEC, which everyone knows is here. It is kind of interesting is that this captain has not gone. There he goes. Here's front of that Zook. And I'm wondering if he's just going to kind of try to kill time and just wait for the late game to get to that Pershing, or what he's going to do. I wouldn't be particularly too sanguine if I were the Germans, though. I mean, with that heavy cav company, of course, the riflemen can't put down mines, which is going to mean that someone's going to get a mine detector at some point. Unfortunately, no one seems to have done that. And that's going to be very, very negative in the long term. In the meantime, we'll see mortars coming down over here, not hitting a whole lot, just more of area denial, taking out this cover slowly. And maybe if they're super, super lucky, they can get drop around on top of this Rakettenwerfer, but I would not suspect that happening too quickly. Interestingly, right now, you want to take a look at the fog of war. This Rakettenwerfer can see both the sniper and the rifleman over here, but neither one of them can see the Rakettenwerfer in return. So we're going to see as well now troops jumping in and out of these houses with a strong point in between. So what happened in German sandwich before is now a much more steady position. This flak half-track in the middle, able to kind of put fire on anybody moving forward. You'll see that happening right about now until, of course, the AEC comes up and establishes himself quite effectively. AEC is going to come forward again, just slipping on a couple of rounds into that AA half-track, forcing him to retreat, but he is flanked in turn by the Kettenwerfer, who does decide to back away. Kind of curious decisions right now from the Allies. They're calling it a Stuart and then a 57mm, despite not really seeing a whole lot of tanks from their opponent. Right now, I do think that with that single AA half-track, there's no need to really overextend, overinvest in anti-vehicle presence. Of course, I say that that's when Immature is going to go for a Tech 2, looking to get, maybe it's perhaps that support armor core up and running with the Ostwind, so it could be rather devastating, I suppose. And an S minefield on Lierneux is especially strong in these southern pathways. You'll probably see another one come down here soon enough. But that Stuart is on the field. He's going to not do a whole lot initially. He's just going to start lofting rounds from a distance, it seems, at this garrison. And with the assistance of those mortars, these Germans are going to get inspired to move back soon, rather than later. The 50 cal sniper, what's he got? He's got 6 kills. He's almost to Vet 1. Of course, he's got to back away from these Volksgrens. And a number of the Volkskrans already do have STGs. And that's going to be pretty good if they can get to the short-range gunfight. Unfortunately, it's not particularly easy. I just heard the bark of the AA half-track go off here. What is he firing at? Oh, he's firing at these Tommies that are now going to decide to get away. And with the addition down here of a Pak-40 and this Rakettenwerfer, any Allied vehicle comes to the south is going to get hit pretty hard, I would say. But that's just me. It's just a suspicion, a sneaking one at that. There's going to be another SWS being called in by Kpen. My guess is we're going to see that Schwerpanzer headquarters, or is he going to play for the long game and go for the mech reg? Going for the mech regiment, I think at this point might be a mistake. But Kpen is always kind of a wild card when it comes to teching up, so we'll see about that one, I suppose. Also, it's worth noting that there's a bunker and a battle group headquarters right next to each other. Not the most efficient use of munitions by Immature, but hey, you know, it's going to happen at some point, right? Luckily for those Sturm pilots, they didn't get the chance to completely manage to put down that mine, but despite that, they took several good hits from the AEC. The AEC by himself also gets savaged by the Rakettenwerfer and these troops in this house, being forced away, deflected rather quickly. And Dinnerbox, in the meantime, throwing down off-map smoke barrage, looking to take out this fuel point. Is that what he's trying to do? I'm not sure that'd be a great decision necessarily. That smoke's going to clear well before he manages to get any kind of legitimate long-term advantage. But it seems all he wants to do is just kind of move forward this rifleman squad right here. Not sure that was worth all the munitions. And what is coming in now? Ooh, good lord. We have ourselves some infiltration commanders going in with a mill bomb and doing a fair amount of damage to Immature's MG right here. To be a little bit careful. These telemines will be quite good against vehicles. Infantry a little less so. But Immature seems like he's got things well in hand. He's got the support armor core up, which means you're also going to see a P4 coming out right now. And Dinnerbox, by his own reckoning, thinks that he's in good enough shape he can build a third mortar. Not sure that's really the best idea. I think going a little heavier into vehicles now at this point would be a good plan. But since he doesn't have a major in just yet, in fact he's back-teching. No, I said, whoops, I thought he was back-teching to Lieutenant. I was like, wait a second, that makes zero sense. What about his ally, though? What's his ally got going on? Well, at the moment, doesn't seem like a whole lot. Instead, it does, of course, see that this P4 is going to dominate the northern part of the map. Though the Americans shouldn't be too worried about that, neither should the British. With mines strategically placed and more of them going down, M5 mines going in every direction, really.
Commanders, be advised. Ability now ready.
We could, mind you, see the P4 get lured across treacherous terrain, let's call it. Also, it's worth noting the AEC by itself is pretty strong against the Panzer IV. Of course, I say that, and that's when he bounces around. Oops. But backed up by a 6-pounder here, and I think the Americans have a 57 mil somewhere. There we go. 57 mil is a little bit further to the south. They have a fairly strong line anchored up. Meantime, though, it's going to be pushed forward by German infantry. They're going to get a Faust off onto the Stuart, which do a fair bit of damage. I'm wondering if that P4 is going to charge forwards trying to be a hero. No, he's going to put a round or two out, but it's not going to be too devastating. And indeed, we might see ourselves a little bit of a meeting engagement to the north. Might also see a mine or two going off. It could be kind of interesting. 448 to 370, though. Kpen and Immature are down just a little bit of tickets here. And it does seem that they will get a cap in their favor, but it's not going to be the easiest thing to hold. What's going on here in the south? You see rear echelons taking a little bit of damage, not a whole lot. Boring. Let's back up where the action is, right? AEC is getting repaired over here. He's got 1-star veterancy already. One more round should probably put him up into 2 stars. Probably pretty good from at that point. And with that target tread, pretty solid. Means if, you know, if you have the P4 and any kind of anti-tank front, could be quite good.
The new company command post is ready.
With company command post now coming in for Der Freishuetz, I'm wondering if he's going to go for Hammer. Might be a good option. go for that Comet tank. I really doubt he's going to go for a 17-pounder. It's not good. It really isn't. A couple of mines going up to the north. The Royal Engineers are trying to lock down that field point as much as possible. And down here in the south, just a couple of shots exchanged, excuse me guys, sorry about that, between the AA half-track and the Stewart. Before coming to the south though, M5 mine here, is there anything up here? No, in fact he kind of rolls through the house, just doesn't really care. Could this be the death of the Stewart? I'm thinking it might be, and in fact I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Hello Moto, he goes down. Oh my gosh, could this be ammo going down too? No. No, that would be ridiculous. That'd be crazy talk. No, and instead the P4 is going to have to be forced away. He's going to throw down... Oh, I thought he was going to throw down... It's going to go to Blitzkrieg or something here, but unfortunately, it doesn't even have Vet 1. Its engine is damaged now, and what's that here? Oh, mobility is damaged too, so that capped rounds that's gone off from the AEC from that Vet 1. And we could see ourselves losing a P4 over here for the Germans. Though the AEC is going to pay for it with his own life, so getting a lot closer than it should be here. One more Zook though, that man, he goes out, and Immature's tank has bit the dust. He is one with the universe. And where is his infiltration commando coming in? Not very close to the front. That's fine, cool. Oh my gosh, what's up here? Any mines? No, I'm surprised not another minefield up to the north. We are going to see that one unit of Grenadiers already has 3 stars of veterancy and an LMG. Looking at veterancy across the various combatants. Now forgive me guys if I missed something over here, but dear God, there's just action in every corner here. Their Freishuetz doesn't have a lot of veterancy. He's got 3 stars between all of his units. Dinner Box is in a little bit better position in the macro sense. He's got a lot of units out in the field. He gives a lot of opportunity, but even as I say that, he loses his only squad of your echelons. And unfortunately for the commandos, they are not able to destroy that squad and maybe even pick up the half-track. Excuse me, the Panzer Shrek. I was looking at this bad boy right here. Kpen, for his own part, is going to bring in a Panther. Der Freishuetz doesn't still have anything coming in. Dinner Box as well, hanging on, trying to, I think, just stalling out for that Pershing. And again, I love seeing good, you know, pitter-patter, back and forth pitter-patter. What's it looking? Patter, banter. Banter is the word I'm looking for here. Banter between the combatants here. Dinner Box is finally going to go for a Sherman, realizing that he can't stay without any kind of vehicles on the field for that long. And for Der Freishuetz has obviously gone for mobile assault a long time ago. It'll be interesting to see if he calls in a land mattress once he gets that one more half of a victory, excuse me, of a commander point here. 399 to 370 with this Panther on the field. Got to be a little bit concerned about immediate hopes for especially the American player. Der Freishuetz is not in a much better position. He's going to bring in a Firefly, which is going to give him a decent amount of firepower, just not a ton necessarily. And people are detecting mines. Okay, the Royal Engineers see the mines right there. Germans, in the meantime, neither Kpen nor Immature has decided to go for a commander just yet. Both guys refusing to be more aggressive or iron themselves, excuse me, to nail their feet to the floor, really, with any sort of call-in decisions. Now, the mortars over here are all lumped together. It'd be interesting to me to see any kind of indirect firepower from the Germans fire around in there and take out like 7 models, but it's not going to be the case. Instead, we will see this 57 mil taking a couple of hits instead. Now, where was I in veterancy? Oh yes, well, Immature's troops. How are we looking over here? Not really that much. Not really that few, but not really that much either. 5 stars between a couple of units. Not really a whole lot to write home about. Kpen, for himself, a little bit better, you know, 9, 10 stars. And I'm kind of waiting for this Panzerwerfer to launch his first barrage because that could be huge. Once he finds out where these mortar teams are, he's going to really wreck face, I imagine. The question is, who's going to see them first? Or we just throw it down on the garrison. That'd be just as good. Oh my gosh, okay, this could be it. This could be like the glorious artillery barrage of Satan. Here it comes. I'm calling in. Yep, right on top. And is he going to take out that garrison? No, he's not. That's the unfortunate thing about the Panzerwerfer. It is either God's gift to the Germans or it's nothing at all. And Dinnerbox decides that he needs a little bit more AT on the field. He's got 257 mils already. He's got this puppy over here, who's going to be decent but not great against the Panther. Especially not with the Panther as it's supported by, you know, extra AT. Now, a half-track, he's going to buy it, though. It seems like that Firefly's going to come forward and pop around to the half-track, and he goes down. It's a little bit unfortunate. And geez, that Panther's not doing too well either. He's getting caught out by the 6-pounder here, as well as this 57mm.
We're losing a capture point.
But 368 to 364 tickets are pretty much bang on even, although we are going to see such a huge amount of German troops in the center part of the map. We're seeing a bite and hold decision being utilized by the Germans. What's going on here in the south? We see Pioneers running away from that. They charge the infiltration commandos, just going to shred this for Kettenwerfer. Yep, there it goes down. Are they going to take it? Because that'd be kind of a good idea right about now. No, they're not. You would think that'd be a better idea, but they refuse to do so. No, instead we're going to see STGs getting wrecked by a mill bomb. Dear God, that thing's glorious. And the German position kind of stalled, to be fair. But looking at it right now, you can't be too upset if you are the Germans. Oh my gosh, there's 2 Panzerwerfers on the field. This could be amazing or it could be awful. Question is, where are they going to fire their rounds? He's going to see that group right there. Question is, he's going to throw down on top of that captain, or is he just going to be not caring at all? I don't know. I can't say. But I kind of almost want to just follow these Panzerwerfers the entire time. ISG from the Germans is going to start dropping rounds in the middle part of the field here, looking to take out that captain, or at least move him. And indeed, rounds are going to come down on top of that house. And another set of rounds, where are they going to go down? To the north? No. No. They can't be doing that. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense now, would it? Instead, though, ISG's putting some hurt on top of that 57mm, and the Germans are kind of back up against it. They're being pushed back into their own side of the map. It's definitely a 50-50 split right now, but it's going now to trip cap for the Americans. There's a ton of troops like on top of each other. If there's any sort of effective mortar rounds coming in, we could see a lot of losses for the Germans. Indeed, there goes a machine gun right there because of that Cromwell. But these STGs seem like they're on the hunt for something. And coming in and around these riflemen, going to force them into a retreat. Not going to do too much damage necessarily on the retreat. Mostly thank you so much to that reduced accuracy. Now, as to the rest of the map, though, we're going to see them diving further and further, getting a couple of shots in on that anti-tank gun. And a Faust off on top of the Sherman. Oof, they even decrewed that anti-tank gun, too. That's a decent win. Not a huge one, but a decent one. And now Kpen has called in the Panther command tank. Could be quite fun. Could be quite fun. So he's got a Panther and a Panther command tank. His allies got 2 Panzerwerfers. And their opponents have an absolute butt-ton of anti-vehicle presence on the map. I've seen harder positions for Kpen, but I haven't seen much of them. Infiltration commandos take a round over here. That one guy just kind of gets spattered, and there's not a whole lot of him left. He's just kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West over here, melting, and now he's dancing in the air. And the death of him will allow the Germans to potentially take back a couple of positions, but it won't be simple. They're getting more and more of a tight hold on the northern part of the map. With all these mines galore, you got to be a little bit concerned about it for the Germans, at least the immediate term. Panzerwerfer, though, decides that he's going to throw rounds downrange. Where's it going? That's the question. Ah, back here. Could he pick off the ammo? No, not quite. Not quite. But there's enough rounds coming in that we see a lot of guys getting shredded. One of Panzerwerfer does go down, though, leaving the less vetted up one for his own devices. But there's a second one coming out, excuse me, a third one coming out right now to replace the fallen brother. And a land mattress being called in as well for Der Freishuetz. Not sure necessarily why, but, you know, decent enough, I'd imagine. If he pulls it in right up here, he could have a nice artillery firing support to take out all this stuff down here. Coupled with this machine gun, which just devastates pretty much anything in its forward firing arc, and you have a pretty strong German position, but it can be shifted pretty easily. Now, Panthers decide to dive in. They're probably going to take some rounds in the first place. Ooh, never mind. There goes the Jackson. He goes down. 57 mil starts lining up onto the Panther. Doesn't quite get him, though. No, he backs away safely. And the American guns go unsated again. Captured 57 millimeters. Going to get a couple of rounds off, I think, on top of this Cromwell before it goes down. We'll be surprised. Yikes. Never mind, it's going to be the Panthers and the Panther command tanks coming through just to start throwing rounds into them. And the Germans, again, are just clogging up the center part, well, the center of their own half of the map. The question is, why hasn't this land match just fired yet? He knows there's a ton of troops in this area. All he has to do is just kind of point to a vague position on the map, and there he's finally firing. Where is it going? And he's hitting probably the only area where there's no infantry. That's kind of impressive. Hey, but 26:30 in, this game's been flying by already. Panther command tank's going to find this armor-piercing sniper after a long last. And this guy, he's gotten some damage out, but he might go down pretty quickly here. Knows going to get away. Got more moves than Jelly on a train, though, even though he moves like Santa Claus after, you know, he has a couple of pints of Ben & Jerry's. But luckily for him, he is saved by all of this AT in the north. Is that 57 millimeter? No, it's not over here still. Okay, but the Germans just have an absolute ridiculous amount of stuff here. This Sherman's over here. Is he firing high explosive? No, he is firing... No, he is firing high explosive. Interesting. Shrek team behind him, though, get one round off. They might get taken out and retreat. No, they don't. Instead, it's going to be a massive scrum in the middle part of the field. Kpen's troops taking severe losses to do it, but might be able to push back the Allied advance. Of course, not 100% sure just yet. The sniper here is over here still putting up some damage. And some rounds going in as well to take out this house a little bit more. Not as quite as devastating as you might hope, though. Infiltration Commandos, in the meantime, will shred the STG Volks from up close. It's just the way that it's going to be all the time. And Panzerwerfer barrage comes in yet again. Where is the other one? Is the other one fired yet? They both have fired. Okay, so I missed both rounds, both barrages. Forgive me, guys. Again, there's just so much going on. It seems like 95% of it's going around this side of the map. Flares being launched in every direction over here. Of course, that is Kpen's throwing out the artillery flares, giving him a lot of line of sight here. And indeed, he's throwing forward the Panther command tank rather aggressively. I'm not entirely sure why. He can't bring it back in immediately if he loses it. And indeed, he will lose it. So not perhaps the best option right there for him. Doesn't even get a whole lot out from it. Though he does at least take a trench out. Probably the one good thing that's happened from that particular bit of aggression. Sherman Firefly has got an engine damage. Cromwell over here isn't too healthy either, but you know they're still in pretty good shape by comparison. And indeed, the Americans are going to rush forward with Rangers and the captain, realizing, of course, they're heavily outgunned by a machine gun as well as other garbage. But Kpen and his ally are getting forced back slowly but surely. Land matches yet again is another volley up. And again, I'm thinking to myself, dude, Bubala, fire in this area. You know there's a machine gun in this area. All you have to do is just fire here and all your problems will be solved. There we go. Rounds coming in. There we go. It's like he knows. It's like he knows my frustration was. Panzerwerfers, though, fire back in return. The question is, can they hit anything? And they do some damage, but not enough. They force a lot of guys into a retreat, though, at least, and take a couple models off this land mattress. The land mattress now has 7 kills. He's been able to devastate this German position over here to the northwest. albeit this is kind of mitigated as the Germans move around this Vickers firing arc. Question is now, what is going to be done by the Sherman Firefly? Der Freishuetz definitely has a good position up here. As you can see, of course, the machine gun will turn away a lot of aggression. Unless, of course, it backs away. Interesting. It's always kind of fun for me whenever a round comes in and actually hits the Cromwell, or hits a main battle tank. Panther will attempt to exchange fire, but is heavily outgunned. He needs to back away right now. Kpen, there we go. Whew. And he bolts out of there just in time. Throwing a couple rounds into the Pershing, which is on the field, which means that's a huge, huge firepower swing for the Allies. The question is, what can the Germans do to kind of combat this? Well, they can combat this by bringing in their own Tiga. The Tiga Panzerkampfwagen 6 would be quite good. I'm wondering when, there we go. And it could be kind of fun to bring in a Stuka close air support if you can get it to link up with a good, consolidated, coordinated push. Problem is, it's a little hard to do given the kind of roving death squads that are happening up here. Mortars will give a ton of indirect fire support to the American positions. Thompsons from the Rangers will shred anything that gets up and close and personal. And dear God, these Panzerwerfers are just way too close to the front lines. Oh well. And the tanks are pretty good at kind of establishing a beaten area for themselves. Sherman Firefly is strong, Canada ready. Cromwell does decently well against German vehicles. And again, I'm wondering, are we just going to see... Who is he firing at? Okay, no, he's firing at the Rangers. That was just kind of dumb right there for those Rangers. Will they go down and retreat? No. No, they're not going to. I would like to see a Panzerwerfer barrage to the north. Once again, firing at all in this area. If they can take out these three squads right here, that's a big win right there. A big win. But it's not happening. Instead, we're going to see mortar rounds coming in and around.
New unit ready and on the field.
Yep. Right over here. Potentially even putting rounds on top of this machine gun. Anytime, boys. Yep, here we go. Rounds coming in. On top of the mortar position, will we see at least one of them go down? We're going to see just one go down. Jeez. Once again, if this were a Stukas of Fuss, this would be a heck of a lot less uncertain. On the south, we're going to see a bunch of Panzerfaust coming out over here on top of this Cromwell. The Russians, tries again, Germans rushing forward and then retreating. And actually, the infantry commanders run into their own mill bomb? Yeah, they did. A gammon bomb, excuse me. I'm going to call it a mill bomb. I don't know why. Panzerkampfwagen rushing forward to try to put some devastation out on their opposing number. But still close air support coming out. So, guys, I'm going to just kind of kick this into a cinematic moment here. We land matches fine over here. The Tiga has gone down. Jagdpanzer and the Panther are doing decently well. In the meantime, the question is, are we going to see any kind of gun runs coming in from the Stuka? I don't know. I don't know. He should be making runs right now on top of that Sherman Firefly. It doesn't look like it, though. Heck, you're making runs on top of this Cromwell as well, but nope, they're not doing it. That's just frustrating right there. So Tiga has gone down. Oh, there we go. A couple of runs coming in, doing some rear armor hits to the Cromwell. Normally wouldn't do an absolute ton of damage, but since rear armor hits, it will churn and chew away at that back armor like nuts. Another big win could be interesting is if the Germans could pick off this land mattress right here. Now, Panther should be able to do so. He's not going to get chased away too easily. Yes, there's a bunch of American infantry closing in, one of which has that bazooka, but it's a single M9. Okay. Instead, it seemed more concerned for him if he took out that fuel cache, and definitely did so. But there's a ton of fuel for pretty much everybody. I'm surprised that Der Freishuetz has not decided to go for another vehicle. Even more interesting, by the way, is this Royal Engineer Squad. Oh my gosh, what are these guys even carrying right now? I couldn't even tell you 100% sure, other than just to say it is not a Bren gun. It is not a Bren. Oh, special armor, oh, excuse me, anvil specialization. Which means, of course, that we can bring in heavy engineers. Interesting. Interesting. Now, Pershing to the south going to take a Panzerfaust, but it's going to just really tickle him. Probably the only vehicle out there that doesn't really take all that damage. Panzerwerfer barrage, though, has come through from Immature and finally does take out the last mortar team. And indeed, its indirect fire city, gouts of snow, gouts of explosive going all over the place. It's like that veritable 1812 overture going on over here, guys. Kind of glorious, though. Kind of glorious. I like seeing some indirect fire if it's effective. If it's not effective at all, I mean, it just kind of takes away from the situation. But at least it looks pretty, right? Right. What's this Jagdpanzer doing in the meantime? He's only got 1 kill. Is that even anything worthwhile? Yeah, he got a vehicle out of it. Question is, what vehicle? I don't know. Really, maybe it's really not that important, but we'll see. Der Freishuetz has decided to pop vehicle crew repairs, which means that his guys are up and running back 100% full strength. And right now the Allies have a fair portion of the map still controlled. They control the northern half of the map. They control the tempo of this game. They're still up 100 and what? Math was never my strong suit. 150, 165 tickets. Pretty readily. And the Germans don't seem like they're really inclined to push back that much soon. They have taken one of the mortars away from the Americans. Kind of interesting whenever that happens. Captain, in the meantime, trying to push over here to take back this fuel point, is not going to do so. Going to get chased away by a Panther. And I suppose the question kind of is, when will the Allies be rushing forward to the attack? Because right now they have a good control of it. And they have a decent, I would say, a decent army comp on both sides. Not stellar, but decent. But 5 of these vehicles can take out 2 tanks. 2 Panzerwerfers. Like right now, I feel they're being a little bit too cautious, and they're starting to pay for it. This Pershing over here is getting hammered by the Jagdpanzer and by the Panther Command. Excuse me, not the Panther Command tank. The Panther tank. Now the Schumanns going on to the south. You have to be kind of curious if the Allies get aggressive or try to start flanking around, will they take losses? And the simple answer to that is probably yes. Add in the fact right now as well that the Germans do have plenty of munitions to toss down Panzerfausts whenever they want to. Panzerwerfer shots coming in, looking to take out that trench, will do so.
The enemy have destroyed a forward position.
Good enough. Not great, but good enough. And LMGs galore. They should be able to dance with the commandos. Not easily. You do see the commandos doing pretty well in the immediate firefight, but okay, it could be worse. Grant's falling back. Should be able to take him on in a longer firefight. Yeah, there we go. Another model dropping down. As Cromwell getting completely caught out, moving up to support the commandos, but yeah, main gun's been destroyed already. So another Faust to come out. Another Faust could just cut it out for him. Immature, dude, you got this, boobala. Boopsie. No, he's more concerned right now by taking out that anti-tank gun, and that's why, because that Jagdpanzer comes up to seal the deal. Get himself that first star of veterancy. And indeed, we're just seeing an unholy scrum going on again. This would be the time that the Panzerwerfer barrages could be coming in. Kind of glorious. And indeed, I think I just missed him. There we go. Coming in right now. Doesn't quite take out the AT gun. Could have been rather nice if he did. Unfortunately, it's not really going to happen. Captured M1 over here is still lining up. He's not going to have a whole lot of targets. Geez, and instead the land matchers are going to try to seek him out in the terrain. But it's not him that takes out the anti-tank gun. Instead, it's this commando squad. And I'm imagining the way that so much of the screen is shaking. This might be what it feels like to actually be in a war zone. The other Tigo tank comes out, and Immature is almost completely capped out. In fact, he is sacrificing some full squads so that way he can just bring in his vicious killer of them all. Rangers are going to get hammered by it, forced away, and with the addition of these Volksgrens, could drop another model or two on retreat. There's at least one going down to be close. No, the other one gets away, if only barely. 312 to 153 though. The Germans have fallen to half the VPs, half the tickets, excuse me, of their opponents. The Persian decides that now is the time to act when his ally has been brutalized. and forced off the field to the north. Not sure that's the greatest idea, but, you know, hey, to each their own, right? Captain by himself, 3-star full vetted up. He's going to get taken out. What a kind of a poor comment right there. Poor decision. But these infiltration commandos might be able to come in and seek vengeance for the captain. No, instead it's going to be a couple of rounds. Yikes. That do some damage here, but it's not going to be anything like a knockout punch. So everyone kind of being a little bit nervous about being too aggressive, and I think really that's kind of the cross that both need to bear here. Commandos falling back in the face of a lot of LMG fire. And totally understandable. And now, though, these Germans do have themselves another soft AT opportunity. Add in the fact that right now, too, we have a Churchill coming in. Not sure it's the greatest option. But hey, that's cool. We don't really often see Churchills. After 41 minutes, too, we might even see the Germans be taking all 3 points on the map. They do have the southern one locked down pretty hardcore with the Schwerpanzer headquarters pretty much left alone for a very, very long time. Land matches throwing rounds to try to ensure that these Germans do not take this VP to the northeast, and managed to do so for the time being. Immature losing a squad on retreat. Yep, he lost a squad on retreat, but it could be worse. Churchill charging forwards to take a couple of rounds from his Jagdpanzer. And what does it drop down? Yep, there's an LMG. That's where that last model fell. But on the good side for the Germans, the Allies did take out their own 57mm. Full vetted up Volks squad, hanging out right by this LMG. It'd be kind of nice if he just picked it up. Might be a good plan. But no, he's not going to. And indeed, we're going to see even more infiltration commandos being used by Der Freishuetz. Again, not entirely sure that's a great idea, but hey, let's go, bro. Stukosafus! It comes in! And it does a huge amount of damage, too, taking out a squad already and forcing back these other heavy engineers. Really, really putting some damage on them. The Schumanns are slowly creeping north, and while there are still Allied mines here and there, can we see the Schumann going off underneath the feet of these Rangers? No, they're going to sleep around instead. And it's going to be special operations grenades coming out, not doing anything, though. But nevertheless, the Germans do have a good hold on a fair portion of this map. At least until the commando attack comes in. And I'm curious right now, because now we have a Tiga, and we have a lot of infantry fire, and this is how combined arms pushes are supposed to be made. I mean, look at this. The tanks are supported. He's got the infantry supported by a tank. If they come into any kind of hardcore issues, they're in really, really good shape. Now, where are the flares going down? Oh, right over here. So, barrage? Where's the barrage going down, though? On retreat? That'd be a dumb idea. Oh, no. Instead, they're looking for that land mattress. Can they find it? No, just barely holds on. There's one model, never mind, it's gone. It's off the fray, Jim. It's dead. But the commandos continue their deathly silent approach over here. This could be an awesome commando attack. Let's not ruin it. Oh, no, but they've been found out. And the commando assault has been established. This is like Dieppe all over again, guys. Oh, dear God. No. They're charging forward. They're probably going to cut a bloody swath through these first couple of squads of grenadiers, but it's not going to be great for them. And indeed, are they going to take out an entire squad? No, not quite. Smoke barrage instead being used to kind of give them a chance to get away. And indeed, all the Allied tanks are charging forwards. Stukosafus, though, comes off, and where's it going? No, it doesn't even hit anything. Yikes. That's just unfortunate right there. The Panzerfischer barrage comes in, and it's just area denial after area denial. By the time the other guys get in there to take it back, they could even potentially see another Panzerfischer barrage. It's going to be close, though. Never mind, they're going to get it in time. Their Freishuetz, of course, also pops off vehicle crew repairs yet again, so we'll see another smoke barrage coming down on top of each of these vehicles. Give them an opportunity to repair themselves back up to full strength. So now we are again briefly in the whole position where the Americans and the Brits do hold a 2-to-1 cap over the Germans. But again, it's late game tanks now, so while Kpen and Immature are outnumbered, they're not going to be outqualified, overqualified, outqualified. Not sure what the verb on that might be. But things are still going strong, so 45 minutes and 15 seconds in, and again, yes, the Germans are going to come right back in here to hold this down. Immature going to fire rounds downrange. Yep, there's one. Get the feeling that it might be better to start firing it on retreat paths here as a very, very anticipatory strike. But nope, instead we're going to see these tanks roll right back in. So Panzerwerfer doesn't unfortunately take anything else out. It's got 13 kills to its name, but even so, not going to be ideal for him. Stuka in the meantime could ideally get a barrage over here on top of this area. Could take out the land matches for once and for all. I wonder if he's going to set himself up to do so. There we go, and I think this is where it's going. Babe Ruth is calling his shot. Yes, there it goes, but it doesn't take him out. Again, doing a fair amount of damage, but not taking him out. But Dinnerbox, interestingly enough, it doesn't have a whole lot of infantry left on the field. He believes that maybe, is that the game over for him? No, Jackson goes down. He just doesn't know exactly what to do with himself. And as Churchill moves it bravely forward, he's not sure that's the best idea. He's going to run straight smack dab into a Pack 40. Turn that off for a second. Is it a nice cinematic round or two? No, instead it's not going to happen. Shame. 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 But the motor pool for the Americans is going to line itself up over here to the north. And this Pershing, he's got 2 stars right now, and he's got 11 kills. Way less effective than he might have been otherwise. And Immature really can call in a Stuka close air support if there's any kind of big fight. Panther, Panther, I'm going to call it Panther Command Tank, even though I know it's not. Panther tank over here. Got to line up on this Jackson, and between the two of them and the Pack over here, that Jackson better book it out of there before he becomes history. Commanders try to push down here to the south, but isn't there a Schumann around here somewhere? No, it doesn't seem like it. Maybe that got cleared out now. And instead we're going to see unsupported pushes by these Rangers who will run forward. Rangers are going to the fight, and then Rangers are going for R&R because they can't stand up to that kind of firepower. And the Allied war machine seems to be slowing down quite a bit. Interestingly, these mines have been here for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. This one has also claimed its own victims, the Pioneer Squad getting hurt a little bit, but not devastatingly so. And while losing fuel at this point doesn't necessarily mean such a bad thing for the Allies, it could just be bad in the long term. I mean, their Freishuetz, for example, has 500 fuel. Dinnerbox is building another Jackson. He's looking to just kind of double down as much as possible on those bad boys. And that Pioneer Squad, did that go down on... Yep, that went down on retreat. Tiga tank coming up and around. Probably going to put some pressure on top of the infiltration commandos. Not really a whole lot to worry about, though. And these guys are just here and waiting just to throw rounds down range on top of these commandos. I suspect there's going to be fire coming in from one or the other fairly soon. Not yet. No, instead it's going to be the Grenadiers looking for rounds. And the land mattress is throwing rounds over here to the west. He still hasn't taken... I'm surprised this house has been taken out yet. Jeez, that's very, very shocking to me. Interesting. To the south, we are going to see that's Jackson moving down here, and the Pershing is going to get caught out by this super, super brave Panther. With the help of the Stukas, we could see the death of the Pershing. Close range, he's not going to do very well. And even with the heals being shown to him by the Panther, one more round should do it. Could this be where the Allies lose the game? Yep, there goes the Pershing. He goes down. Up here to the north, you see everything happening. Explosions in every direction, loud noises. I might as well see Steve Carell doing his thing. Tiga tank comes up, throws a couple rounds into the Churchill. Churchill kind of, shrugs it off, throws a couple rounds back. Tiga shrugs it off. Really just the Sherman Firefly over here just kind of hangs out. And, yeah, it's going to be a long time before Dinnerbox can bring back in another Pershing. So a huge, huge loss for the Allied war machine. And Stuka comes out looking to find those Royal Engineers. For half a second I thought he took out one squad just with one rocket, but no, that's not going to be the case. More rounds coming in? No, these guys are still up and running. 2 seconds, 1 second. They're going to throw down more rounds up here to the north. Be kind of interesting. Maybe. No. No. Okay. Ooh, never mind. Here we go. We could see it after all. Try him nice and close so that way he can see the engineers, but no, they're going to get away in time. Or is he just looking way, way further to the east? No, he just doesn't get it just in time. Luckily for the engineers, they were too busy getting someplace else. And we see, again, just indirect fire back and forth, back and forth. Looking for that house again? I am shocked the land mattress has not been able to take that out. More flares are going down, though, and I'm suspecting that there's going to be a barrage coming over in this little area. The Panzerwerfer or the Stukas of Fuß before too much longer. In north, in the meantime, Tiga exchanges a couple of rounds with a Firefly, with everybody else. Not that surprising. And again, the Commando Rush is just zipping around the map. They have an LMG on one squad already, so happily done there. Way to go. We're 52 minutes in, and the Allies are still bleeding out VPs and tickets slowly but surely. Their Freishuetz in the meantime drops down crew repairs. Not entirely sure why. Didn't really necessarily need to do so. He's at the Royal Engineers in the meantime. These guys can repair whenever they want to. And indeed, it seems like he's just going to throw... Everybody is going to go back and retreat except for the land matcher. So anything that has a T that looks for R&R is running back home right now. My computer's starting to lag too, just because of all the smoke, all the fire and the flames. And this guy is very, very much trying to get back home before he gets a rocket barrage dropped on top of him. Interesting things that right now the Churchill's running to the north going to be able to pick on these Grenadiers for the time being. Oof, and drops down the crew self-defense to take out one of these Grenadier squads. Does allow another Grenadier squad to get away with 2 LMGs in the same squad, and that is a delicious engine firepower for that single squad. But doesn't mean things are going to be easy for them. Regardless, you do see that this upper area of the map has turned into this kind of World War I trench warfare. We have some equipment still on the field, still able to be taken. And I guess right now the middle of the field doesn't look too much better. 3 houses down, 4 houses down. This is really a fixer-upper kind of neighborhood. 5 houses down. And what had been a bad engagement for the Volksgrens gets a little bit better as a helpful round comes in from the ISG. Churchill comes forward trying to chase off the infantry in the north, is able to go and put some hurt on some guys, but not going to be able to take him out in the long run. And indeed, we just see all these long-range rounds being tossed all over the place. Land matches throwing rounds into this area, kind of surprisingly. Not hitting squat because it's too far away to effectively target pretty much anything. And yes, this bunker right here is taking some damage, but it can be repaired pretty much whenever they want to. And more artillery flares are going to go out, so the question really is, who gets tired of this first? Well, tulip rounds are going in on the Tiga, and there's Churchill is now up and running, but there's also Stuka close air support. So let's just, again, go into this kind of cinematic mode. Churchill's going to go down. He gets brewed up right there. Jackson charging forwards and getting shredded. Shredded, and he goes down. Panther is just kind of laughing at him on that one. While the Tiga is desperately close to death, he is still alive, and that's the important thing right there, and the Allies don't have a whole lot to throw at the Germans at this time. They have a single Sherman Firefly up here, and a Sherman, that's it. Like, that's not going to be great. But we do see finally in the south that the Schwerpanzer headquarters is able to kind of pick on something for a little bit. Been apparently damaged in the meantime, not really concerning too many people. And Kpen, really, if he loses all of his material right now, he can just bring back in a King Tiger, and that would be more than enough. Rifle grenade going out, doing some damage, not a ton. And this Panzerwerfer barrage is again finally taking out the land mattress, and that's good right there for him. Good on ya. Sugasafus, has he fired? Yes, he's fired recently. Hasn't really gotten the kills he's hoping to get. Still only 9 kills on him. 14 and 18. Interesting. Jagdpanzer sits in hiding over here. And down here to the south, I think the Schwerpanzer headquarters might even get taken out. But exchanging that for a 57mm, Kpen I think can get away with that pretty easily. And indeed, I think he will get away with that pretty easily. Yep, there goes the anti-tank gun. That goes down. Will he toss something like infiltration grenades on top of it? Might be a good idea. No, he's going to start salvaging instead. It's always funny when that happens. They don't get a chance to finish, though. There's too much Rangers in the meantime. But we are going to see this Panther is going to dive in. He's going to try to pick on the Sherman as quickly as possible. No, he's not even going to target it. There we go. And that's pretty bad right there already. And Panzerwerfer barrage coming down on top of this 17-pounder AT gun. This is the first one of these I've seen of these in forever. Forever. Nobody builds them anymore. There's a reason for that. They're too immobile. The Sherman's going to just brew up. That goes down, and the vehicle crew, which should have gotten into it and bolted, has decided not to do so. Kind of wondering if the Stugosafus is going to fire its rounds to the north. Would be a good idea as well. But no, he's not setting up for it. Doesn't look like. There we go. Drop rounds on top of it. Brace is going to be down up for another 5 seconds, though, so not a ton of damage being done. But the Panzerwerfers can throw down whenever they want to. This 17-pounder is going to be turning slowly to go off this Tiga. But again, even if the Tiga goes down, they can call another one in super, super quickly. Off-map smoke barrage. I suspect the Sherman Firefly is going to go down in just a second here. Yep, it's going to get brewed up. There he goes. Sherman Firefly does come up here, and the Freishuetz is just going to find his material getting hammered. So Tiga might go down, but for a 17-pounder, it seems like a more than a fair trade. And also taking out Sherman Firefly as well. Yeah. The Allies are starting to take body shots, and I don't think they can do a whole lot more of that. No tanks for Dinner Box. Or Dinner Box, excuse me. The Freishuetz is desperately building tanks galore, but I think it's too little too late. We're seeing now it's going to be a slashing attack, I think, from this Pak 40 and this Jagdpanzer, which now has 4 stars. That does not happen that often, let me tell you. Damage engine, of course, now on the Cromwell. And dear God, there's a ton of infantry over here, but it's not going to do a ton of long-term damage. Panzerwerfer is throwing down rounds and missing them completely. Stugosafus, I think, has a better chance of hitting stuff. And even then, they're not doing a whole lot. But we're finally seeing a machine gun being placed farther forward. It's a captured machine gun at that. This Vickers only has 1 star, but it's exactly where he needs to be. And that is sort of how it goes right now. It's how the cookie is crumbling. So the Allies are definitely up against it. They're going to be flirting with the idea of having a trip cap. Maybe not immediately, but soon enough we will see another rocket barrage coming down. And that's really been, the entire story, I think, for Immature. He brought on a couple of Panzerwerfers, and while the first one got taken out, since then, been devastating. And oh my gosh, we've seen the FU barrages. Yes, we are. FU barrages coming in. Just barely missing taking out the Major. Just barely missing taking out the ambulance as well. And we see the Cromwell charging in because he's desperately trying to get, vision on something, on somehow, in some way. But he's going to go right across the vision of this Panther, who's going to calmly take him out with 1 final round. Smoke barrage coming in again, and now the Fireflies going in, trying to trade firepower with the Tiga, and which should be able to do pretty well. the ally upgun is going to be a good opportunity for them. The question is right now, where are those artillery flares being deployed? In the north yet again. Rounds coming in. Nope. Nope, and instead we're going to see the Royal Engineers trying to come through a curtain of firepower and getting forced away. One guy gets brewed up by this kind of chasing Jagdpanzer, who, surprisingly enough, does not have 5 stars just yet. And the other Firefly backs away in a noble retreat. Grenadiers are going to stand their ground. The Panzer Riffers again just throwing down rounds pretty much wherever they go. And that's just going to be the story of it. Whatever's left, really. Too late? Too late. But commandos can't pierce the lines. They're not durable enough. Dinner Box doesn't have enough to get that Pershing. He won't have it again for another minute. A minute's a long time. He will be able to afford it, but he won't be able to bring it in for another minute. That's a long, long time. A couple of Rangers still on the field, coupled with some very, very light infantry. It would be good if the Germans were still on a very infantry-centric build. But their infantry, even when it gets outgunned, is supported by intense amounts of the Panzerwerfers and Stukas-Fuß. Stukas-Fuß is again looking for and not quite finding. No, never mind. He's devastating this British infantry. Takes out another, what, 5 models, 4 models? Very, very quickly. Tiga repaired is just coming up here to kind of exchange rounds with this Sherman Firefly, but neither one seems to want to make the first move. And the Panzerwerfers come in to take out the Land Mattress. The Land Mattress, I don't know exactly the caliber of rounds getting utilized here, but I can't imagine it's anywhere close to the kind of German ones. Incendiary grenade comes out on top of these Rangers, are forced into retreat, and I believe we're seeing the swan song for the Allies. They will be able to put pressure onto the Schwerpanzer headquarters with this reified Pershing, but that's it. That's all they got left. That's all the Americans have left anyway. The Brits can afford some more tanks once they get the manpower for it. And indeed, here comes the pain train. 5-star Panther. He's got everything he needs. Combat blitz, armored skirts, rate of fire, pushed even further, range and accuracy, and firing on the move, which is always an issue for the German forces. Meantime, though, Jagdpanzer's coming down as well. He's got 5 stars. Oh my god, that thing's a beast. What's that one right here? Okay, it's a better chance to penetrate armor and a greater amount of damage. So, yikes. That Schumann that was down here, by the way, a long time ago, yeah, that just took him out. Yeah. So, R.I.P. to the Pershing. All hail the Jagdpanzer. All hail the Panther. And Dinner Box is complaining right now. So the first time the entire game really complaining. Stukas-Fuß is leveling himself for one last barrage. Where's it coming? Yep, and that Panther was unstoppable. That thing was just brutal, just savaging anything that kind of came close. It didn't help either that this indirect fire support for the Germans just hung behind the lines and just every 60 or 70 seconds just pounded everything into the dirt. For the moment, we are going to see the Allies stave off imminent defeat for another 15-20 seconds, but that's not going to last very long. Tiga comes up, tosses off another round or two at the Firefly, and that's going to be pretty much all she wrote, guys. So Kpen, thanks very much for letting me know about this game. Sorry it took me so long to cast. Unfortunately, I had some other stuff on my plate. Guys, keep on the lookout for some more videos coming from me soon. And I flirt with the idea of playing on Tyranny. And if you don't know what that is, I'm happy to show you, but we'll see how that goes in the next little bit of time. So as this game wraps up, thanks so much for tuning in. As always, I love all the interactions you've been showing to the channel. We are just about 700 subscribers right about now. And yeah, guys, honestly, without your support, I wouldn't be doing this. So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys all soon. Take it easy, everybody.